أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله أسعد الله يومكم هذا وبارك الله فيكم جميعا. I welcome you all to our program Echoes from the Mimbar. Today, Friday, 16th of Rabi'ul Thani, 1444 after Hijrah. And today, inshallah, we shall be looking at the summary of our khutbah from Jamiatul Hikmah. The day of Friday is a very important day for all Muslims. The Prophet ﷺ said it is the best day of the week. In a hadith by Abu Huraira, radiallahu ta'ala anhu, the Prophet ﷺ said, خَيْرُ يَوْمٍ طَلَعَتْ عَلَيْهِ الشَّمْسُ يَوْمُ الْجُمْعَةِ. The best day on which the sun shines is the day of Jumu'ah. Yet in another riwayah by Aus bin Aus, the Prophet ﷺ said, Inna min afdali ayyamikum yawm al-Jumu'ah. Of the best of your days is the day of Jumu'ah. So as Muslims, it is important that we see the day of Jumu'ah as an important day, and that we also try our best to observe as much of out of ibadat, talk about nawafil, azkar, qira'atul Quran as we can. Importantly, the Prophet also said, Akthiru alayya salata yawm al-Jumu'ah. On the day of Jumu'ah, seek more of Allah's blessings for me, because all the prayers that you make for me, ma'rudatun alayhi, they shall be delivered to me. They shall be delivered to me. The Prophet also encouraged the going to Jumu'ah very early in the day. He encouraged taking the bath on the day of Jumu'ah. It is called the Ghuslu Yawm al-Jumu'ah. And also putting on our perfume, putting oil on our hair and our beard, and wearing the best of clothes. Today from the Mimbar, we looked at a very important hadith, which was reported by Abu Huraira anhu, and recorded in many books of authentic hadith, including Sahih al-Bukhari. And the hadith contains a whole lot of lessons, but first let's see the text of the hadith and also give a few explanations. So the Prophet one day was sitting with the companions, فَذَكَرَ رَجُلًا مِنْ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيل. So he told the companions the story about a man from the Banu Israel. What happened to this man? This man went to a fellow person in the community, فَسَأَلَ بَعْضَ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيل أَنْ يُسْلِفَهُ أَلْفَ dinar. He went to someone from the community to lend him 1,000 dinar. Equated dinar is about 1,460 naira in general money now. So 1,000 dinar will be like 1,460 something thousand. So let's assume that the man went to take a loan of about 1 million naira plus. فَقَالَ تِنِي بِالشُّهَدَاءِ أُشْهِدُهُمْ. Now that riwayah came at فَقَالَ تِنِي بِشَهِيدٍ. So the loaner said to the loanee, bring me witnesses who shall bear witness to this credit transaction. You want to take a loan? Bring someone that will stand as a witness. فَقَالَ كَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا. The loanee said, Allah is enough a witness. Meaning, Allah is my witness. I don't need anyone to bear me witness. قَالَ فَأْتِنِي بِالْكَفِيلِ. The loaner then said to him, okay, what about you bring me a guarantor, someone that can guarantee and stand for you, so that in case you fail to fulfill your promise, I can hold him responsible. قَالَ كَفَى بِاللَّهِ كَفِيلًا. But the loanee replied in the same manner as earlier, Allah is enough a guarantor. قَالَ صَدَقْتَ. So the loaner said, well, you are speaking the truth. Allah is enough a witness and is enough a guarantor. So فَدَفَعَهَا إِلَيْهِ إِلَى أَجَلٍ مُسَمًّى. He gave him the money, the loan of 1,000 dinar to be repaid at a specific and agreed time. فَخَرَجَ فِي الْبَحْرِ فَقَضَى حَاجَتَهُ. So the loanee traveled on the sea to take care of his business. He actually needed the money to take care of some businesses. ثُمَّ الْتَمَسَ مَرْكَبًا يَرْكَبُهَا يَقْدَمُ عَلَيْهِ لِلْأَجَلِ الَّذِي أَجَّلَ فَلَمْ يَجِدْ مَرْكَبًا. So when it was time for him to repay the loan as agreed, He went to the riverside, hoping to see sailors who would take him to the village or community of the loner, but he couldn't get any sailor. There was no ship. In fact, it is reported in a riwayah that it was a rainy day and that the wind was blowing violently. So, and it affects the sailing of ships and canoes. So, none of the sailors was around. فَأَخَذَ خَشَبَةً فَنَقَرَهَا. So the loanee, this man who took a loan from another, then took a plank. And that is why this hadith is known in the circles of the ulama as Hadith Sahib al-Khashaba, the hadith of the plank man. So he took a plank, فَنَقَرَهَا, and he made a hole in the plank. He made a hole in the plank. فَأَدْخَلَ فِيهَا أَلْفَ dinar. He put the 1,000 dinar inside this plank, وَصَحِيفَةً مِنْهُ إِلَى صَاحِبِهِ, and a note in which he had addressed the loaner, the owner of the money, that this money is the loan I took from you on so and so date, but I couldn't come because of so and so reasons. ثُمَّ زَجَّجَ مَوْضِعَهَا. So after he had put the money and the piece of paper in the plank, he found something like a gum to close the hole, to so that water will not penetrate it. ثم أتى بها إلى البحر. Then he went back to the river, to the river bank. فقال, and he said, and you have to listen attentively here, because when we, by the time I start explaining the lessons from the hadith, you get to know how important it is to have tawakkul, to rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this man said, Allahumma, oh Allah, innaka ta'alamu, indeed you know, because you know perfectly everything that happens even before it happens. You know perfectly, oh Allah, that I took a loan of 1,000 dinar from so and so. I took a loan of 1,000 dinar from so and so. فَسَأَلَنِي كَفِيلًا. He asked me to bring a guarantor. فَقُلْتُ كَفَى بِاللَّهِ كَفِيلًا. And I said, you are my guarantor. You are enough a guarantor. فَرَضِيَ بِكَ. And he was pleased to have you as my guarantor. وَسَأَلَنِي شَهِيدًا. He asked me to bring a witness, to bear witness to the transaction. فَقُلْتُ كَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا. And I said, you, Allah, are enough a witness. And he agreed. رَضِيَ بِكَ. He agreed. وَأَنِّي جَهَدْتُ أَنْ أَجِدَ مَرْكَبًا أَبْعَثُ إِلَيْهِ الَّذِي لَهُ فَلَمْ أَقْدِرْ. And you, Allah, also know that I have tried my best to get a canoe that will convey me to his place so I can give him his money at the agreed time, which is today. Falam akdir, but I'm unable to. Like I mentioned earlier, some of the writers said it was raining and there was some violent wind. Wa inni astaudi'ukaha. I am keeping this money in your care. Wa inni astaudi'ukaha. I'm putting this money in your care right now. فَرَوَى بِهَا فِي الْبَحْرِ حَتَّى وَلَجَتْ فِيهِ. So he threw the plank into the river until he saw that the plank actually sank in the river. ثُمَّ انصَرَفَ. And then he went away. وَهُوَ فِي ذَلِكَ يَلْتَمِسُ مَرْكَبًا يَخْرُجُ إِلَى بَلَدِهِ. He didn't just go away to his house. He was actually looking for a canoe that may probably convey him again to the loaner's place, so he can explain to him, I have sent the money in a plank. فَخَرَجَ الرَّجُلُ الَّذِي كَانَ أَسْلَفَهُ. The loaner, who is at the other end of the river, came out to the river bank expecting the arrival of any ship or canoe with the man that he loaned his money to, so that he can get his money back. So when this man went there, he went to the riverbank. يَنْظُرُ لَعَلَّ مَرْكَبًا قَدْ جَاءَ بِمَالِهِ. That probably the man has sent his money through a canoe, or the man himself brought the money by himself. فَإِذَا بِالْخَشَبَةِ الَّتِي فِيهَا الْمَالِ. It was at exactly the same time he arrived at the riverbank that he saw a plank, in the water. So when he saw the plank, of course, he didn't expect that his money would be in the plank, but فَأَخَذَ لِأَهْلِ حَطَبًا. He took the plank so that his wife could use it to cook. So he took the plank as a firewood, not expecting to see anything in the plank anyways, because there was no such agreement. Falamma nasharaha. So when this man got home, he took the plank home and then he broke it into pieces so that the wife can use it to cook. Wajada al-mala was sahifa. He saw the 1,000 dinar and the notes from the loan. ثم قدم الذي كان أسلفه. Then after a while, the loanee came. The loanee came. I said it earlier. He was actually looking for a canoe to convey him to the loaner's place. So the man came. فَأَتَى بِالْأَلْفِ dinar. He brought another 1,000 dinar. Now, he actually kept the 1,000 dinar in the plank with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He knew Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would not disappoint him. But in order to keep to Amana, he brought another 1,000 dinar to repay his loan. So when this man came, فَقَالَ وَاللَّهِ مَا زِلْتُ جَاهِدًا فِي طَلَبِ مَرْكَبٍ لِآتِكَ بِمَالِكَ. He said, I'm sorry, I know we agreed to pay back at so time, but I kept trying to get a canoe to bring me down, but there was no canoe at all. فَمَا وَجَدْتُ مَرْكَبًا. I couldn't get a canoe. قَبْلَ الَّذِي أَتَيْتُ فِيهِ. This is the first canoe that sailed today. This is the first canoe. Caller, the loaner asked him, because he was shocked. He having actually received the money and the note, why is this man here again? So the man asked him, هل كنت بعثت إلي بشيء? Did you send anything to me earlier? Did you? The loanee was shocked. He said, أخبرك أني لم أجد مركبا قبل الذي جئت فيه. I just told you that this ship that brought me is the first one that sailed today. قال, the loaner replied him, فإن الله قد أدى عنك الذي بعثت في الخشبة. Allah has delivered the money you sent in the plank to me. Allah has delivered it to me. Subhanallah. فانصرف بالألف دينار راشدا. Go back with your 1,000 dinar. Go back. Subhanallah. So this hadith is what we discussed today in our khutbah, and it is so important because it highlights some of the most important things that we miss today in the ummah, and which are the qualities of a sincere Muslim. Now, when you look at this hadith, number one, it talks about taking loan. There is nothing wrong for a Muslim to seek credit transactions. It could be for business sake. It could be to take a loan to buy something for yourself. It could be to even for Akudu Nikah. One can pay the sadaq upfront. You can pay in installment. All of these fall under credit loan transactions. Almighty Allah in Surah Al-Baqarah, what we call the longest verse in the Quran, Quran chapter 2, verse 282, Almighty Allah discussed extensively the rulings and the etiquette of taking loans. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu idha tadayantum bidaynin ila ajalin musamman faktubu. So Allah commands us to always document our credit transactions. Now here in this hadith, we learn that it is important that whenever we transact for an appointed time, when the money is not already at hand now to be paid, it is important for us to seek witnesses. Allah mentioned this in that verse in the Quran. Almighty Allah says to us that we fastashhidu shahidain min rijalikum wastashhidu shahidain min rijalikum. Have two witnesses among your men to bear witness to the transaction. Now, when you look at the other verse 283, Almighty Allah also mentioned something about collateral, that وَإِن كُنْتُمْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ فَلَمْ تَجِدُوا كَاتِبًا فَرِهَانٌ مَقْبُوضٌ. If you're on a journey and there is no one to write down the transactions, then let there be a collateral, to be held by the loaner. In this case, the loaner sought for a guarantor. So a guarantor is like a collateral, someone that will be responsible for paying the loan in case the loanee defaults. So this hadith teaches us that in terms of credit transactions, there is actually the need to have it documented, have people bear witness to it, and also have people to stand as guarantor so that you don't end up losing your money and your friendship or brotherhood. Today, many people cannot be trusted when it comes to credit loans. You lose both your friendship and also your money. We learn also from this hadith that it is always good for a Muslim to accept Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a witness in our matters. So in case we have an agreement with someone to do something or to give something, and such a person swore with Allah that Allah, I will not cheat you. A Muslim should put his trust in Allah and go ahead with the transaction if surely that person is of proven integrity. Allah says in Quran chapter 2 verse 183, فَإِنْ تُمِنَ فَإِنْ أَمِنَ بَعْضُكُمْ بَعْضًا فَلْيُؤَدِّ الَّذِي اؤْتُمِنَ أَمَانَتَهُ فَإِنْ أَمِنَ بَعْضُكُمْ بَعْضًا فَلْيُؤَدِّ الَّذِي اؤْتُمِنَ أَمَانَتَهُ. And if you trust one another, let the one who is entrusted discharge the trust. وَلْيَتَّقِ اللَّهَ رَبَّ, and must fear Allah. So we should put our trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because we may be in certain situations where there are no witnesses and probably there are also no collateral or guarantor. Sometimes it could even be between spouses. Okay, a wife seeks a loan from the husband or vice versa. Sometimes we feel like, why do I have to ask my wife to bring a witness or a guarantor? So in such instances, we entrust our properties to ourselves. Whoever is entrusted should fulfill his end of the bargain. Also from this hadith, we learn that it is very important, nay obligatory, for whoever has made a promise to fulfill his promise, especially when it comes to the properties or the rights of others. The Prophet ﷺ said, for a shaheed, all of his sins shall be forgiven except the debt that he failed to repay. The Prophet ﷺ used to tell the companions, at some point, whenever a Muslim dies, he asked them, Al alayhi dain, does he owe debts to people? When they say yes, he says, Sallu ala sahibikum, pray on your companion. So this is not to punish the deceased or to show that the deceased had not died as a Muslim. No, no, abadan. It was just to train the believers to avoid, indebtedness, and to always settle their debts as soon as they can before death overtakes them. Also from this hadith, we learn the ethics of truthfulness. Both the loanee and the loaner were truthful with themselves, because the man could have said, well, I didn't see any money, and it takes a second 1,000 dinar, making it 2,000 dinars, in lieu of the 1,000 dinar that he loaned. But because he was also truthful, he told the loanee, the money you sent in the plank has been delivered to me by Allah, so you can just take your other 1,000 dinar and go. And finally, we learn the lesson of atawakul. Whoever relies on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Almighty Allah will always be there for him. This man took 1,000 dinar, put it inside a plank, threw it into the river, and because he was truthful and he relied on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah delivered the money to the right person. The money didn't get to the wrong person. So when we rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the discharge of our affairs, Allah will surely be there for us. Bismillah ta'ala, till the next Jumu'ah. My name is Sanusi Lafiagi, and this is our echoes from the Mimbar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.